for Serpent Man. Enough of you.
Up next on Crossfire Collectibles, the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 150, Heavy Duty. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 150, Heavy Duty. So here we have the newest of the single figure deluxe series from the Classified collection, and this is our Heavy Duty. Got him a little bit early, and I'm pretty stoked for it. I made a deal for a dial tone, and he had a Heavy Duty, so of course I had to get it. And here it is, in hand. Very cool. So looking over the figure here in the packaging, you have the blue and black carbon fiber and digital design. There's the figure inside with his giant body cradle-based rocket launcher, what you will. Off to the side, there's a nice artist render of Heavy Duty, Classified Series M150. Around to the back, here you have Heavy Duty. Kind of looks like he's going through a sewer. Looks like a couple of night creepers in the background there. You got, I guess, the connection pieces on the rocket launcher base up here. There's a piece that connects around his waist, and on the other side here, some stats for you. This does have a Chinese sticker on it. Onto this side, stats again, a little close up. There's the QR code. Onto the bottom, UPC, and at the top, stripes and stars, 150. Alrighty, so without further ado, we will pop this open. But first, please subscribe to the channel. So yeah, good. We've been in a little bit of a drought with the classified figures, but we just got two more. So we had Dalton, and we got him up already. And now for Heavy Duty. So first, we got some crap. And now we'll go ahead and get the figure out. So here he is in the plastic dungeon. As you can see, lots of accessories here. He's got little missiles here. He's got some blast effects, extra pair of hands, a couple knives, some headphones, all kinds of good stuff. This may take a minute, but we're going to go ahead and pop everything out, and then we'll go over it one by one. Alright, so here it all is. Heavy Duty and all of his accessories. And holy shit, that is a lot of stuff. He's got a ton of accessories here. You see, you have two of the 4-barreled rocket launchers here, 8 different blast effects, 8 rockets, 2 knives, headphones here. He's got this monocle / earpiece, ammo belt, 2 miniguns. He's got the huge frame of that, what's it say, man portable heavy weapon system right here. That also has 2 other guns on it. And then you have the ammo drums here. So, wow, what a lot of stuff. We're going to start with the figure's extra accessories for, you know, the actual character himself. And here he has an extra pair of hands. So these are bare knuckle fist hands. Both are identical, no gloves. There is a hinge for a peg that will allow it to go out and in. That is on both. I don't think we'll be needing those, but they are here if we do. And then we have an unhatted head. So here it is, and I gotta say, this looks pretty badass. He's got a couple of dots on the side of his face. Looks like some red paint. That could be a factory mishap or something, but the head looks good. You can see he's got a few shaves up in the sides of his hair, here and here. Very, very nice looking portrait on it. There's the socket at the bottom for the ball joint. All right, we'll start with these actual missile launchers over here. So you can see the two-tone green, M202 quad burst, invention number 2 in D minor. So very nice. They look really, really good, especially with those greens. There you see the sockets on each side to pop them into the harness over here. And then you get 8 of these small missiles here. So these are a light green, so it's a nice homage to the vintage figure. Very, very cool. little tiny ones, but they do have quite a bit of detail in them. And along with those, you get 8 separate blast effects. So here they are. You see the plug right here, and then you can take the smaller end and pop it into the end of the missile like that. And of course, we would go ahead and just plug this into one of those barrels there on the rocket launcher, so it appears to be blasting out. So super nice. We'll be setting that up, and I'm looking forward to that one. He's got 2 knives here, both identical. I don't see any difference in them. They got the silver blade and that green wrapped handle. You got that little loop at the bottom, so you can easily pull it out, chuck it, throw it at someone. But they look nice. I like these. Ammo belt. So this would go probably just in the back of one of these miniguns here. As you can see, they also have a socket on them. They will plug into somewhere on this big frame here. So nice ammo belt, very flexible. We'll figure it out when we get to it. Now let's go over these miniguns. So one on each side. Gotta figure out which side is which. So they can either go like this or like this. Looks like that ammo belt would go up into the top of here and here. So really cool. They look a little angled. I don't know if that's warped or if they're supposed to appear like that, but regardless, they're cool. All black, lots of detail on them. They're pretty good. This man is going to be packing some punch. Next up, we're going to go over to these headphones here. So these might just be noise muffling or something of the sort, because he is packing a lot of firepower, but he could also be, getting some comms from base, something of the sort, but pretty cool regardless. And then you have this monocle here. You have this around the head wrapping piece that would go, pretty much just around the head, right probably underneath his hat. It's got an earpiece, so he's probably getting some communication of some sort. This is another piece that goes on his ear on his left side, and you of course have the monocle that comes out. There's the bar, a little bit of detail on it. It's got that red printing, 2 different reds I see. So like the little targeting system and then a dot. So pretty cool. End up probably using this one. All right, the ammo barrels. So this will be on the front of the entire mobile missile system here. And you see a little snap piece here that would go right onto that bar. They're hollowed out, so nothing in them, but we don't really need to see the bottom. Pretty neat. Just know he's got a lot coming. And then we have this portable heavy weapon system itself. So it does have these 2 guns on each side. They are removable. You can pop them right on off. They're only plugged in with that tab here. So you got these 2 guns in the front in black. You got the whole system here. You have some nice digital screens here on the back. You got some greens in there, some blues, some blacks, and some grays. There's a long pouch here on the back to probably store some stuff in. We see the arms move. So very nice. A little bit of silver accents on there. Up here, you have a little bit of tan, probably for some padding that would go over top of his shoulders here. You have the 2 handle pieces here in the front. So he would be gripping onto these and probably pushing down on those red buttons to fire. Look at all the detail on the front. Got some battle damage. There's a few bullet dents, some scraping. You have that silver paint on there to make it look like there's been some scratching and wear. Really nice. The green color of it is like really good as well. I'm not too fond of the metallic for the actual metal pieces that are holding these together. Those pins that are running up in there to allow these to swivel back around. But regardless, that looks pretty damn good. So I'm guessing with all this stuff, it's likely going to make him pretty top heavy. So we'll probably end up getting out a flat base stand and not use 2. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and go over the figure. So here he is, and he looks great. He's got that ripped sleeve shirt, button up, very, very light khaki. Green hat, so nice and reminiscent to the OG figure. You have shred head on the back. Funny little decal there. It's got the folded up brim. It's got the gold chain on with that little Sam Hain or bull skull. So pretty funny. The head, the portrait on this looks just as good. Wearing a hat, of course the hat doesn't come off on this one. It's got a couple of diamond earrings in there. Very, very nice. You can see the bandolier coming around in all black. Some green on there. The gray grenades. Got a little comm piece up there at the top. Moving down to the belt, that is not attached to the codpiece, so that's good. All black, couple more grenades on here, a sheath on this side. He's got a couple of bracelets on each side here, all black. Down at the pants, weird kind of pattern. He does have the camouflage look to it, but it's got these kind of funny looking, almost digital looking targeting triangles on there. So pretty neat. Knee pads down to the brown and green boots, and another sheath here on the left boot for one of the other knives. So very cool. Lots of stuff on him. He looks great too. All right, so articulation time. So the head, of course, on a ball joint, going forward and up, not too much, a little side to side. That second ball joint down there in the bottom of the neck allows for good range of motion, and the head can turn around a full 360. Over at the arms here, so a nice butterfly joint, so that looks really good. Arms can rotate a full 360. The hinge will allow the arms to come up about that far. It's got bicep rotation, say double jointed pinless elbows. All right, down to the wrist, so it looks like that bracelet is movable. A little further down to the hands, and they are attached by that hinge peg. That'll allow them to go down and up, and they can rotate a full 360. Unlike the clenched fist hands, these are trigger finger hands. So one on each side, and the left one will allow it to go in and out, and also a 360. Down around the torso, mid-torso, he has got a little bit of ab crunch, that far forward and that far back. He can rock a little side to side. Down at the waist, he's got some swivel. Down at the legs, first stop up at the hip, there's drop leg. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, and out to the side that far. He's got thigh rotation, double jointed pinless knees. Down at the top of the calf here, you have a rotation right at the top of the boot and the bottom of the pants. Further down at the ankle, you have a hinge to allow the foot to go that far forward, that far up, and side to side pivot. Underneath on the bottom of the feet, you have a couple of holes to be allowed him to stand onto a figure stand itself. And there's your articulation for heavy duty. Pretty good articulation. The arms feel a little tight. Let me see, that sheath on his boot can come off. It's not attached, so that's good. Overall, pretty nice. I see a bit of reuse in here, but it looks good on the figure. The head makes it, so that's pretty awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and take this man portable heavy weapon system and load this up. But I think we're going to go ahead and grab a stand first, just to get in his feet so he's nice and stable and we don't have to worry about him tipping over, being top heavy. All right, so there we go with a full based Figure Lab stand, and it seems to look pretty good. I kind of gave him a little bit of bend in each knee, one a little more than the other, just so it looks like he's actually going to be supporting some weight up here. But we'll go ahead and start gearing him up with the rest of his stuff. We'll start down at the boot sheath and put one knife in right here. Come up to the belt, and we're going to go ahead and slide the other one in right here. There we go. Like how the tip comes out a little bit. Pretty nice. We're going to check out the headphones. See how they look on them. I might have them backwards. They don't look too bad. Pretty good. I'm going to actually save these. So I'm not going to end up using this head here, but if we want to see how they look on that one, there we go. Not the biggest of fans of that one, but we are going to use this sort of monocle thing here. So we're going to bring that around and just plug it right onto the top right there. It probably could go under the hat brim. It might look a little better actually. So let me see how that looks. If we can get that one piece up over his ear on this side, seems like there could be a little bit of a trick here. And, yeah, a little bending around on it because it doesn't sit quite flush if it was under the hat. But maybe it's just a little warped. A little heat might take care of it, but that probably should eventually just stay over his eye. But we'll leave it underneath the brim of the hat for now. I think that looks okay. All right, now let's go ahead and build our man portable heavy weapons system here. So first we're gonna go ahead and take these two miniguns. I think I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put these pieces on top because I have a feeling that that ammo belt is gonna run from under the bottom. So we'll go ahead and snap that onto that ball joint on the side right here. Come around to this side and snap the other one right there. Now we're gonna come down to these rocket launchers. We're gonna come over to the right side actually first and pop this one on. So we'll go ahead and snap it in right there. I like that. You could probably also use these not on that and actually give them the heavy duty, you know, just to use as a single rocket launcher, because it does have the grip in the front. So you can go ahead and just plug that on them. Maybe line that up around, you know, the shoulder. And then you probably have to extend the arm out a bit. Pop it on there, shove it in, you know, it's gonna be like, blast, blast. But we're not gonna do that for this one. We're just gonna go ahead and build his little system here. So we'll take this one, pop it on the other low ball joint right there. And I like how these can angle around so you can point them pretty much whatever way you want it to be, have him shooting at. All right, we gotta get our ammo drums here. So we're gonna go ahead and snap those on right here and here. Just like that. Come around to the back and we're gonna go ahead and take our ammo belt and plug it into the bottom of that minigun there. And then, am I supposed to be getting two of these, or is this not separated? I have a feeling this either isn't separated or they shorted me one of these ammo belts. Oh wait, I was gonna say maybe it feeds all the way through. All right, let me toy with this because it looks like it's one single belt that we actually have to feed through that entire back portion here, which would be, you know, where all the ammo is held, and each one goes up to one of these guns. So give me a minute, let me try to do that. All right, not too bad. Wasn't too bad to get through it all, but yeah, that's it. So one single belt, I like that. That's actually really cool. So instead of having two that have a chance of falling out, you feed the one completely through there. Fold these up. They made those openings on the bottom a little bit deeper than actually we've seen before, so that's good. So they go up in there a little bit better and they won't easily fall out. So very nice. All right, so now let's go ahead and get the system up on him. I think what we should have did was go ahead and fed the legs in first. So we could do something like this. And then we'll go ahead and put him back on our stand. And then we'll bring this up. And this will come up and over. And then we're gonna go ahead and feed that backpack area into his back, and we want to get this down over his head. So we're probably, yeah, I figured we'd lose the monocle while we're at it. It's okay, I'll take it off and we'll just put it back on. We may have to get rid of his bandolier, but I'm going to see if it'll fit without having to worry about it. So go ahead and pull this right back down again, get that kind of lined up. So now we're going to go ahead and angle these arms around to try to get it to where he can hold on to those front joysticks. Let's go ahead and crack that elbow. Get that up right there. And all right, so there's one. Try the same for this one. All I'm doing is basically flexing these hands out so I can get him to get around that joystick with an easier grip, like that. All right, now we'll go ahead and straighten him back out. Kind of get these miniguns angled in a certain way. Got our rocket launchers, our front guns. Man, that's a lot. All right, so I'm gonna go and try to get this monocle back on him. Probably gonna be a little more difficult, especially now that we have that whole mobile system on him. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it on the top of his brim around the back, so that way it's more flush on his eye. Not have to worry about going underneath and digging through all that mess. But let's go ahead and start loading up the rocket launcher some. So we'll go ahead and plug in a few of these missiles. All right, now I'm going to use some with a few effects here. So we'll take these, have him shooting 2 out of this one. So pretty nice, good reuse of the metalhead rockets that he had. But I do like that they gave him the green. So very retro. One more. Plug that in. And there we go. So we can't really put any of these blast effects up top here in the miniguns because they won't fit. But we do have 4 left over. So that way, if you ever wanted to take all 4, have them, you know, just blasting around, and you have them. But there he is with the stand. He feels pretty sturdy. I'm sure he's going to be top heavy. That's a pretty heavy figure. So I'll go ahead and stand him off right here for a moment. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in some comparisons. All right, so here is heavy duty side-by-side comparison with the Saw Viper. Here he is with our other most recent addition, Daltone. And here he is with our other most recent deluxe figure with Road Pig. So you can see heavy duty's got a pretty good size to him. I mean, I think he has to be, you know, to be carrying all that stuff. And he's got to be one buff dude. But let's go ahead and toss him up onto the turntable and we will give you some final thoughts.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
Be sure to check out our previous videos. A link will always be pinned in the comments.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
All right, so here you have it. The G.I. Joe Classified Series, number 150, the Deluxe Edition Heavy Duty. Wow, man, this is a nice figure. I was really not expecting all of these accessories. Good God. Building that man-portable heavy weapon system, that's a lot of stuff that this figure comes with. Still off to the side, we have his extra head with the headphones, those extra pairs of hands, and we still have 4 extra blast effects here that we did not use. So, with everything that's already geared up onto the figure, this figure comes with a lot of stuff. One of the neat things that I do have to compliment on this figure is this huge missile system. So especially this little ammo belt running completely through the backpack part here, having each end run up to these miniguns at the top, very cool. I like the addition of the little digital readout pieces back here on the back. I like the little stamps right on the side, you know, M202 quad burst, very cool. The blast effects that are coming out from those little missiles coming out. The addition of the battle damage on the front there. This figure is just decked out. I think the only complaint I do have with it is being able to see the metal pins that are running through a lot of those joints that are physically on this man-portable system here. But overall, I think the figure is absolutely great. Nice homage to the retro edition, like older Real American Hero figure with those lighter neon greens in there. They were really nice. I really think that was a super nice touch that they did with this figure. Overall, he just looks good. I think the portraits are nice. I do like the addition of the 2 heads. I think it would have been a little more easier to just make that hat come off. But overall, still no complaints on that. I think the figure's great, and he is definitely a wise pickup. Look forward, I guess, a few months from now. I think maybe August he might start shipping, unless he starts shipping earlier. But we got him. I couldn't be happier, and he's going to make a fine addition to the collection. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, Tickle that bell so you're notified when we post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media. And until then, we will see you in the next one. Peace.